The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan.
I did it again, y'all. I did it again. Why are we breaking up like this? I don't know. Fuller did it.
The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, blue jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. So hot to death, oh yes, these are the sports podcasts live as a pros course. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the boys ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a parting line. It's always in season if people starting five. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. We got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat spit. I got what you need.
I don't know if I got what y'all need this week because I'm fucking tired, yo. It's your boy, the man, that DJ named H5, your mom's favorite fat guy from deepest, darkest Africa. And we back with the newest episode of Start 5. As always, hit that box. 20% off your order at hooksrub.com using the code START5. 10% off your order using the code START5 at our affiliates of W. Tyrone, what up?
What's up? I'm here. I'm not really tired. I had to do I had to lay my crew off this week because we did too good of a job, I guess you might say. We caught up to where the gas lines are, and PSE&G don't want us to go no further than the gas lines. I mean, I don't want my crew to blow up, but I didn't want to have to lay them off, so I'm going in this week to figure out the new plan to work around the gas lines, and hopefully I can get my guys back by the end of the week. But it looks like I'm just going to have a week of walking and talking and not too much work going on. But I'm here and I'm ready to go. What's up, TJ?
Use this summon, Tyrone. What up, GJ?
What's up, fellas? Glad to see y'all back. Glad to be back. What up? Like I said, good to see you guys back. Glad to be back. Unfortunately, some personal things come up. I couldn't make J1Con, but you know, life happens. So glad to be here. Glad to talk about. We got a lot of shit we can talk about today. A myriad of topics going on. World of sports, in the country. We can start wherever. We can get it in today for sure, though.
Well, I will tell you this is thank you to Jamal and thank you to the homie T Smith for coming through, taking part of this year's Black Finity Gauntlet. See now, it was slightly disappointing after using the whole from when the con opened till our panel, promoting, telling people, yo, we're gonna be showing exclusive footage of your favorite rappers. We're gonna be showing exclusive footage of your favorite rapper. We got about 4 to 5 people to sit down with us. Then it went down to about 2 or 3. But the 2 or 3 who sat there was fortunate enough to see raw footage from the Fade to Black movie. and I'm talking raw studio in studio. Like I'm showing, and I was allowed to skip through, and you're watching clips of Jay-Z in his writing process, which it isn't writing at all. And then you hear Just Blaze playing beats, and to hear T talk the story about how pretty much like he's like for a good like 2 or 3 months of recording that album, the people who was in the studio the most was Jay himself and Young Guru. So like he was around like documenting everything. And some people got to see pieces of footage that didn't make the movie and hear beats from Just Blaze that clearly didn't make the movie. Shout out to the homie uh S. Got Bars from Ring Ropes and Turnbuckles podcast. He came through as a guest of mine to chill to kick it, and he just when he heard some of the beats, he was like, "Yo, that shit's had me ready to go home and write some rhymes." Like, but all in all, man, I got to kick it with Tyrone a little longer, man. Like outside of the pod shit, I got to. I look at it like I got to get to know my brother a little better. You know what I'm saying? Because we are all bad friends here on this show.
Nice.
And what I'm saying? We are all bad friends on this show. And that was only the second time that Tyrone and us kicked it in person. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta do better. But for me, because I don't brag
Yeah.
about myself that much, I finally am no longer working in Manhattan. I finally got the spot that I want in Brooklyn to where I have my retirement spot now. And I start there. I start at the
Oh,
new
that's where you're
garage on
finishing it
Monday.
up at?
Hell yeah. I got a 4 to 12 garage supervisor spot,
Congrats,
so
man.
I ain't gotta drive the city no more. I ain't gotta fucking go out there and get tickets no more. None of that shit. Unless I get kicked out when we split shifts in the snow. So your boy is finally happy. Like I finally got something good to report to my well, I gave her the word when I found out the word last Wednesday. And I got, just good feelings to report to my therapist on Wednesday, you know what I'm saying? So thank you. But other
Good,
than that,
good,
and Tyrone
good,
has
man.
to fire. Tyrone said why he had to fire people. That sucks. Now, question for you I had off of that. Um PSE&G didn't have like they don't have like surveyors or engineers on site for that type of stuff in what you were talking
So
about?
So they did. So what happened once we got to the gas lines and we're putting metal into the ground and we got to vibrate it in. So they said, yo, we don't want no vibration near these gas lines, because they marked them
Hmm.
out. They had them out. They had the PSE&G guy there to monitor how bad the vibrating is, but they don't want no vibrating near the gas lines. So I got the sheets and I put
Yeah,
them in.
they don't want them bitches to rupture.
Yeah, so I just forced the sheets in, like push down on them without vibrating and just forced them into the ground as far as we can get them. And then I thought we was just gonna be able to go to the other side of the gas lines and continue. But PSE&G was like, no, we need shit around the whole gas line. Like y'all can't skip. So
Okay.
now
And
since we
so
can't skip, we
what are
gotta
you
figure
building
out.
like retaining right like you building like retaining walls or something
Yeah, so they got
so they
so it's
can
all
work?
well no, what happening is it's contaminated soil. So we got to build a wall between the contaminated soil and the good soil so that we can dig out the contaminated soil without disrupting the good part. And so PNC&G got gas lines within that wall. So they like, yo, y'all can't disrupt these gas lines. And now they're like, we were just gonna put a couple of sheets in up to the gas lines and then go to the other side. But they said they don't want us to dig near those gas lines without the wall up. So then we got to figure out how we can put a wall there deep enough to protect the gas lines and deep enough for us to dig the bad soil out. But also, we can't vibrate or take a chance at fucking the lines up. So
Right.
so it's back to the drawing board for a little bit.
Okay. So you gotta put your brain, you and your other people that you have left, y'all gotta put your brains to use.
No, the
And then
engineers got to put their brains to use because I'm that decision is above my pay grade. I can make suggestions, but my pay grade don't require me to be responsible for that. So I don't want them to
Word.
use none of my ideas. Because if anything blow up or the shit don't work, they're not pointing the finger at me. So I'm gonna be doing more listening and I'm gonna be doing talking. That's for sure.
Right. Well, you should be able to get your crew back though, no?
Yeah, I can get them back.
'Cause I'm sure that they'll want the money.
Yeah, I can get my crew back. I just didn't want to have to. When you're in the union, it's like, okay, I could hold y'all out for a week or two, but I don't want to mess them guys up with the opportunity to make money if they can make money. So it's just like, okay, you lay them off, and that gives them a chance to be able to go to another job site if they can,
For the
and then
meantime, right?
yeah,
Okay. Okay. Well,
instead of
yeah.
having them just collect unemployment, I give them a chance to go get real employment. You know what I mean?
Right. But other than the family issue, everything is good with you, TJ. Otherwise, we got TJ frozen again. Yep.
Oh
Right when
man.
we go to him. Well, oh well, whatever, man. We got some catching up to do, like we seem to always have. What you got? What you got to kick us off with, Tyrone?
I got to kick y'all off with the WNBA playoffs because listen, man, everybody was talking about for the past 2 years, and all the viewership was going up, and everything about the WNBA was about Angel Reese and about Caitlin Clark, and then this year was all about Kelsey Plum going to the Sparks and playing and balling out of control for the Sparks, and it was about Paige Beckers coming into the league and all that. And after all that, everybody was equating the things to, and everybody was arguing about it, and everybody was equating to what Angel Reese was doing and Caitlin Clark was doing, and that's not the story this year. Caitlin Clark was out most of the season, and the games were still good. And now with these playoffs have been fantastic. You know what I mean? They had 2 game 5s. They had 1 game 5 decided by overtime to get to here. They got the defending champs, the Liberty went out. The Lynx, and I'm sorry that Nafisa Collier got injured, but the Lynx went out, and now we got like the Aces who won 2 championships in the past 5, and they're out here, and they got to go up against Phoenix, who was like the underdog story, but
Hmm.
Phoenix is balling out of control, and so that was good. And then the fact that the Indiana Fever was only like a 1 overtime win away from being in the finals without even having Caitlin Clark on the court. So I'm just saying that like these women are putting in work, and then when they talk that shit about like trying to get their worth and trying to earn money, I mean they're
They
putting
out there
they
doing
taking
it.
on business. Yeah, yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. The Nafisa Collier, as they said, the season-ending interview that she did. What were y'all thoughts on that? TJ, did you see that shit?
Yeah, actually, somebody posted the link, and she was speaking her truth, man. Like she was out there standing on business and calling people out, calling out the president of the NBA and the Players Association. So, I'm not mad at her for what she said, and how she said it as eloquently as she could possibly say without being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So that was big. And she's right. She hit a lot of points, a lot of talking points, and she was right. Um, you know, they are getting more money, and the way the president sees it is like, you lucky, you guys are not the league. I'm the one that's making a league. Like she's making it about her instead of making it about the league. So I mean, and with the shit she was saying with the refereeing, so I don't watch the games obviously to see how bad the officiating is, but she was calling out everybody. Like there's no accountability across the board. Nobody's stepping up, and these players are getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? And she just went down the laundry list. You know what I'm saying? She aired the dirty laundry out for the WNBA, and now it's a bad look. It's a real bad look. You know what I'm saying? The WNBA hasn't said anything in response to this. I don't know if she's got fined or anything. She was like, I'll eat the fine, whatever it is, fuck it. But she called them out and she stood on it. Other players in the league, star players backed her up. Caitlin Clark was one of them. You know what I'm saying? So, I wish more athletes would do that. But the way the situation is and how money exchanges hands and stuff like that, a lot of players can't. You know what I'm saying? So for that to happen, you need somebody like a Steph Curry, LeBron James in the NBA per se. And in NFL, you would need like a Patrick Mahomes, I don't know, Jalen Hurts, big names, Saquon, you know what I'm saying? Big names in the NFL that people know for these type of changes to speak out on and happen. The machine is different, obviously, for those sports, but it is what it is. I mean, she wasn't she wasn't saying anything that wasn't true. She wasn't saying anything that wasn't true.
That was the vibe that I caught off of Tyrone, and you being the one of us who actually took in more of the games this year. Like, how right or how wrong was she about it all in her eyes? From your opinion, that is.
In my opinion, she's 100% absolutely right. And I don't have no problem with nothing she said. But once again, these WNBA women constantly shoot their momentum down, and that's what makes me upset. It's not what they say or what they do. I agree with them. They do need more money. I agree with them that the refs are pretty bad. I agree with everything that they're saying. But the timing of everything that's happening is so bad. Like I said, when Caitlin Clark came in, and they wanted to talk about race relations and how the media is treating the race and all that stuff with Angel Reese and all that. Great conversation, great issue. Really was true. But y'all saying it during the time when y'all are actually gaining momentum. Y'all couldn't wait till the off season to point that stuff out because that kind of was killing the momentum. It's a negative vibe. And then with the All-Star game, y'all waited till the WNBA All-Star game to protest at that time. Y'all had y'all viewership up. Everything was going in the right direction, and y'all chose to protest during the All-Star weekend. But
that's when most eyes were watching it. That's when the casual fan is watching it. This doesn't hit the same ears if they do it off season or during the regular season. This doesn't hit the same way.
But it's just bad timing for me because I'm like, we got a positive momentum going, and I understand that. But that's an off-season issue. You can't settle it now anyway. You know what I mean? So
but she did it to draw attention to it. It goes unheard. It goes unheard when nobody gives a shit about the WNBA when it's off season.
Hold on a second, because here's my point on this. Like, there's never a quote unquote right or wrong time for protesting. There's never really a wrong. Actually, I can't say it right. Excuse me. There's never a wrong time for protesting because part of a protest is to disrupt and bring attention to. So for when they did it during All-Star break, that was perfectly fine because it goes to what TJ said. That's when the most eyes are on their product. But I get what you're saying as far as you're making light of the negativity within it, but you have to do it at the opportune times that, it might look like an inconvenience, but you have the eyes and ears looking and watching to then use that point to be a stepping stone for a turning point and change. So I see your point, but there's never a wrong time.
I feel there is. I feel that was the wrong time because it was going positive, and then they did that, and everything went negative. And then Kelsey Plum made a statement about Caitlin Clark's team not really being involved in it, and that went negative. So nothing positive came out of that protest. Everything that came out of that protest was negativity. Everything.
But when they do it in the off season, it's going to get swept under the rug so easy. It's going to get swept under the rug because the media is not going to give it the attention it properly deserves.
Well, here's the real problem is that this is not, the WNBA can't really protest to the people and to the media and to the fans because they don't have support. Most of their protests, most of them asking to get paid was hit with, y'all don't make enough money to get paid. And that's what it came from. So when I say that they gotta talk about getting paid, that's something that they can gotta talk about behind the scenes. Because putting it out there to the media, putting it out there on social media, all it garnered was negativity. Because
But you
But I
can't
think,
say it doesn't generate enough money with the TV contracts they just did, as
yeah,
well as these teams getting sold for record
I broke
amounts of money.
yes,
but
These
but
teams
I
are
also too,
broke it down.
generating money now.
and we can't act like they're not talking about it behind
What
the scenes.
what I
Guarantee you they are talking about it behind the scenes, but I'm sorry. There's some things that just it needs the light of day for everybody to
eh,
understand and then be like, and again, so you can get your fan base to be like, yo, hey, yo, they're fucking right. Yo, let's step up and give more support to this.
it didn't though. It went bad. It went bad. I follow it all. It was just a bunch of negativity. It was way more people than the WNBA fan base was actually scared to be the WNBA fan base for real. They don't want to have these conversations. They don't want to argue. They don't really want to support. They want to watch like I watch, but I support. I've been in arguments about this. The fan base they don't have support. What they have is a bunch of people going, I don't watch it. They don't generate money. They don't deserve the money. If it wasn't for the NBA, they wouldn't be existing and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what it garnered. It didn't. It did the eye having more eyes on it just garnered more and more negativity. And this thing too with this new TV contract is that if you break down the deal in the TV contract, yes, essentially on top they're making more money, but they still don't have enough money to pay these stars what they're asking for. Like that TV deal gives you enough money for uh for the team, right? But when you break it down with the contracts, if you got 3 stars on the team, you can't pay none of the other players. You can't give them no raises, no
So
nothing.
So with that being said, because we talked about that like a couple months ago.
Right.
So so to what Nafisa Collier said, which you again you said you agreed with,
Yes.
and her bringing it out to light that the owner of the league, the commissioner owner of the league, and the shit talking she was talking about Caitlin Clark, like, oh, she needs to be thankful that she's making that 14 million off the court, and it's because of us type shit, paraphrasing. Like, that's, I mean, yeah, it's to me for her bringing that up and bringing those conversations up. It should, for the people who are the hardcore dedicated fans, it should be motivating for them to be the ones to step up to say, hey, yo, like, yeah, this league does need more change. And like I said, like, keep being the person who does speak positive, even in the negative light of stuff. Like, even in this stuff of like, yo, yeah, they're right. They're not getting paid enough. Like, we need to do this, we need to do that. Like, it's again, we could be a part of that change. Like I said, I'll do a better part. I fell off this year with that, but I can do a better part too in that.
But here's my problem with this is my problem with Collier, right? The, the playoffs have been great. There's no Angel Reese. There's no Caitlin Clark. There's no Kelsey Plum. There's no uh Paige Beckers. You know what I'm saying? So right
So
now was the best time to say, hey, listen, all these people who y'all said were responsible for us, all these people who y'all said were building this league up, all these people who y'all said were these great people that were making everything happen for us, and without them we wouldn't be where we are. Yeah, that might be true, but now we're seeing that without them, these women still put in work. We still had a great playoff. We got a great finals coming up. We got like a dynasty team going up
Hold
against
on,
the
TJ.
underdog team, and all of
So,
that, right? Hold
so,
on.
but
And
okay,
with all
but
of
to
that
what you,
positivity, going on now, because of what Nafisa Collier said, all the attention I'm seeing about the WNBA now is on her comments and negativity and all of that, instead of on the positive thing in the playoffs. So I'm saying she could have waited to say what she said.
but
She didn't have
all
to
right,
say it at that press conference, bro.
but if that was on her exit, so what again is no bad timing. That was on her
It
exit.
is
But
bad time.
also too, if
She
she would
messed
have
up the
come out,
league.
but if she did mess up the league, because as you
She
said, it's
did.
still great. She is still, if there's still great games going, she didn't mess up the
But
league.
they're not
She brought
talking
more,
about it. They're
but
talking about what she said instead of talking
be,
about these games. She put
because
in
again,
so
to hold on, because to be a disruptor once again, there is no wrong time and being a disruptor. You still gotta bring it up. And again, so if she did took the approach of what you just said of she could highlight that, oh, all of these big name players are out of the playoffs, yet we're still thriving and killing it. That then just makes it look like a personal problem then when she's calling out these players for not being in. So then now it brings a different target more directly on her back instead of calling out the fucking league.
Uh,
You
I'm
get
But
what I'm
here's
saying,
saying?
but here's this. If she says this at the end of October, November, the season's over, you know what she's going up against? NBA is back. The World Series. Football's in full swing. Nobody's hearing this, bro. It's getting buried.
Also, real quick, it would be, how come you didn't say this during the season?
well, if
It's
she,
just it's what it would be.
and then how come you didn't say this during the season? How come you didn't say this while y'all was still playing? This was going on during the playoffs. This was going on the whole time. She was complaining about it. Why you didn't say that while y'all was still playing?
Because she
Because
didn't
you
sit
knew.
down with the president until then, right? She just sat down with the president of
No,
the NBA.
no. She said this, but she
Nah, she
started.
gave stories about the off season and leading into the season.
I'm just saying that I don't like the timing of it because we was on a positive thing and everybody was talking positive and there was no negativity about the WNBA. They was talking about the playoff games and everything was positive, and then she made that comment. Now now all the talk is about what she said, and now they're back in a negative light, and
All
this
right.
keeps happening.
So when does it get brought up? When does it get discussed? Because
I mean,
now you have in the off season, and she does her press conference or whatever, and she says, "Yo, I'm gonna do an interview." Let's say she does it in an interview, and she says exactly what she said right now, right? That's gonna get what traction for a couple of days, couple of weeks after your great season and everything like that.
And it
Then you
doesn't
realize
change the message.
the WNBA ain't as great as it seems. You know what I'm saying? When are you gonna say what you gotta say?
and y'all don't think that the players are still playing right now that feel that same way know not to say nothing. Like I mean, like Asia Wilson could have said something about it. She knows not to say it right now because she knows that they're riding on a high. And so I
Because
think
Asia Wilson is
but
playing, so her mind is elsewhere. You know what I'm
I
saying?
was gonna say, and that's to answer your question, the players that are on the court, they can have that in the back of their mind, but their focus is on still moving on to get to that
right.
championship. She was on her exit. There's no problem. To me, there's no problem with being a disruptor, a good
I,
disruptor, because to me, that's a good disruption. Bringing light to corruption, bringing light to negativity.
I,
It is negative. Yes, it is negative, but you're bringing light to it, which then will bring. I mean, again, this is one of the cases where negativity can bring more people too.
I'm saying, yeah, but I'm saying bringing light to it right now is putting darkness on what these women is doing right now. That's what I'm saying. It's putting a shadow on the good. So I think that it was a greater good. It's a greater good because these issues not going to get settled for real. Bringing light to it is not going to do nothing. To be honest with you, like they brought light to the pay, and all that brought was negativity. Because what actually people are looking at now is, hey, y'all do got that new TV deal, but that TV deal is not enough money, and so it didn't. It brought light to it for the people who fans. Who did it bring light to? Because I already know. And the people who
Well,
not
But
fans
what about
are
what
going.
she
It's
said about
only
the president of
negativity,
the
bro.
WNBA? What she said about the president of the NBA was crazy. Like she was like, "Oh, I brought this deal to the WNBA. I did this. It was all about her." You know what I'm saying? Like what that just goes, swept under the rug
No,
now.
no. But under some circumstances, the president is actually kind of right too, a little bit. Like let's not act like this woman ain't doing nothing. Let's not act like she's the one who has to go get that television deal. They the ones who work them contracts out, make them television deals. They're the ones who's trying to make money out of no money. and make stuff happen for these women. So yeah, I agree the president could do more. Yeah, I agree that they should have been had these deals done and they should have been had this advertisement done. But at the same time, it's like we can't sit here and act like this woman ain't doing nothing. The WNBA is at the best that it's been. We got to give everybody credit. We got to give everybody credit.
I don't think but to TJ's point and the way Nafisa was putting it, it was like it's not. It's I don't think that they think that she ain't doing shit. But you can't take that me. It was I. You did it off the backs of them. Like you wouldn't be in that position to take credit for getting these deals and stuff if it wasn't for the women that are on the court delivering your product. I think that's part of the point behind it. And I think for me, the takeaway from her the talking points that she brought to the table, it felt like like give us more credit than what you deserve, and also while you're at it, fix this shit. Like fix this shit. The first thing she did in that whole conversation that I recall was before calling out the owner was, these referees are fucking horrendous. And it's the truth. I mean, when it's true, it's true. The refs are horrendous. And we've seen it in other leagues and other sports all the time where the refs will get called out each and every fucking weekend. And then you know what the fucking leagues do, especially when it comes to the NFL? You speak bad about them, you get fined.
What? That's another thing too, though. That's another thing too. The refs are bad. When I'm watching the games, I'm like, some of this shit is egregious, right? But at the same time, the WNBA wants eyes on the product. And the referees calling it, I'm going to just say it, the product is not smooth enough for these referees to actually be good referees too. And these women got to take accountability for it. Like, the stars are the stars, but these other women, man, if the referees called these games really the way they were supposed to be calling these games, we wouldn't have these games would not be watched.
They're making the product bad. That's the problem.
If the refs call these games down the middle, bro, it's going to be less action because there's fouls.
But you said,
fouls all over the place.
Your own words, you said it was egregious.
Yeah, some of it.
You said it yourself is egregious. That's a bad product.
In a statement like that, we can say that the Jordan rules was a thing then. Like we can say that the one-sidedness that MJ would get away with shit that others couldn't was a thing. But because it was good and it helped bring a good light to the league, like that's okay.
Are we denying the Jordan rules? Who's denying the Jordan rules?
No, I'm putting this out there for talking points for the people to hear.
Listen, I don't have the egregious ones, like the stepping on the foot and stuff like that. Some of these offensive fouls and some of these the arm bars and stuff like that. Yeah, those are egregious. Yeah, maybe we can get the referees to work on that and knock some of those out. But if we're going to act like we gotta play a game where the referees gotta be calling all the fouls, we're not going to get a good product out of that neither. So you got to find a balance. You know what I'm saying? You got to find a good balance. Jordan rules didn't cause any problems, bro. Because you want your stars to be.
No, it sometimes caused one-sided victories. That's all.
Who don't
I mean,
like
it's
those?
just right or wrong, TJ. Like it kind of just caused one-sided victories or
Charles
one-sided
Smith,
issues.
Charles Smith.
When come on, y'all gotta understand this too. Though you still gotta look at the business aspect of these women want more money, and I ain't gonna lie, Caitlin Clark being injured fucked up some of the money. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, Stacey Collier getting injured fucked up some of the playoffs. You see what I'm saying?
The conversation though, Tyrone, though, is I understand that. And to your point of calling it down the middle, you gotta call a fair game. That's really what it is. if a ref wants to let people play, the ref is gonna let people play. But you gotta be fair. And that's a part of their thing is they are there to make sure that it's a fair game. They don't have to call everything. They don't have to call everything. But the point of them is to call a fair game. If there's some shit that's egregious that gets by, nah, call them the fuck out. And this
It's
is
not.
coming from I used to cuss out referees all the time.
Listen,
Trust and believe.
it happens in all sports. Like they said in the NFL, you can call holding damn near every play. In the NBA, you can call traveling damn near every play, right? It happens. Baseball, umpires fuck up the game all the time. All the time, bro. Clean it up. We just want to see the accountability. We don't want to hear what they did behind the scenes or back door, who got fined or who got demoted. Or that's bullshit. I mean, that didn't change nothing. That didn't change anything. If the players can get fined and we hear about it, we want to hear about the refs getting fined.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're making six figures. They're making a healthy salary. These referees in the NFL and the NBA refs, these guys are not poor. Okay? They can get a $5,000 fine. They can eat a $10,000 fine.
It's just not calling the game one-sided. That's really what it's about. Stop calling the game. If you're gonna call an egregious travel on somebody else, call it on the other team too. Don't let them slide. Don't make it look like a Tim Donaghy type of affair where you could clearly see that this like the game is looking fixed type shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at anybody that calls out official. I mean, I am authority at work. I have problems with authority, just period. Like I always have. When I played football and shit, I always had fucking issues with referees for not calling out shit or not calling shit one way, calling shit and not calling penalties on the other team that you just called on us and they did the same exact thing, got away with. Like, nah, fuck that. Call these motherfucking referees out. I'm always for that. I'm always for that shit. I'm always for that shit, man. It's Tyrone here. Tyrone's in Cybertron now.
Huh?
Said coming through your phone, everything is sounding crunchy.
Also, I just feel like too, like I feel like too, like sometimes you gotta take a step back and I feel like Nafisa should have took a little step back. I'm not saying that she was wrong or nothing like that, but I'm saying like the timing for her too. Like your team was on the verge of winning the NBA finals was probably the favorite to take home the WNBA championship. And I admit that an injury on a bad call ended her season, ended her team season, and they were going to be champions and all that. And so I think that in that moment too, some of her fire was ignited by that. You know what I mean? And so it's like in that moment, maybe she should have took a step back, and I don't know if it would have been the same had she not been in that situation too. So it's kind of that.
Refresh your connection because you're in Cybertron right now. But I feel this point there, TJ. But it's like, yo, like if you were the victim of said egregiousness, nah, that's like telling me when to be mad.
Right. But then when do you bring it up? When is it a time to discuss it? Like I said, you can discuss it in the off season. You can discuss it,
It's happening again, Tyrone.
It sounds like you crunching a bag of chips in your microphone.
Anything that comes through. There you go.
So, Tyrone, my question is to you. When is the opportune time you think that she should have brought this up? And when it could have garnished more attention? Right before the season started next year? Or, after the championship? when is a good time to bring that type of stuff up?
I'm saying that with the WNBA is not like everything else where you have to garnish attention, because it doesn't matter if you garnish attention. That's my whole point that I'm making is she's you're thinking that they're doing these protests at opportune time to garnish attention. But the people who watch the WNBA, the fans of the WNBA, the people who know about what they're talking about already know all these issues, already know all these things. Our attention is already on it. So you're garnishing attention from people who aren't fans. So all the attention that you're garnishing is negative. It's negative. So it doesn't matter when you say it. If she says it in the off season, it might actually work out more better for her, because they're not going to get the negative responses. They're not going to get the negative attention. She's saying it where it's garnishing more attention, but all the attention is negative. All of it.
So in essence, shut up and take it until the league gets into a better
No,
position.
deal with it
But
with the league.
so you can't. So hold on. So you can't say no, and then still say it's like that. To you, there's never a right time. The way this sounds.
No, there is a right time. I'm saying that
So
there is a right time, because
so TJ asked
the
you the
timing that
question of
you
when
use,
is the right time.
the right time is during the off season. Because it's not helping to do it now. Only thing it's doing now is putting negativity on something that was positive. We were talking positive about the WNBA this whole time throughout the playoffs. The games are good. And all the things we were saying about the WNBA throughout the playoffs and the media was how good the playoff games were good, how good these women are balling, how good that the NBA is still having viewership without Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Plum. That's what we were talking about. And now the Nafisa Collier said that, and now the talk has switched to a negative thing. And I'm saying that the people who's getting their attention, the people who she's saying it to that's getting the attention, are not fans of the WNBA. So all of the attention that she's getting is negativity. All the people that want to talk negative about them now have something negative to say when they didn't. The playoffs was slamming. The playoffs was fire. So all of the people who want to talk shit about the WNBA had nothing to say until Nafisa
So
Collier opened her mouth,
our
and now it's all negative again.
our timelines must be different because I'm not I'm seeing the negativity on. Yeah, yo, she's right. Like, let's fix this. That's how I've been seeing it on my threads, timelines, and shit like that. Like,
It's
I've been seeing like they need to fix this shit. And again, the egregiousness happened to her, and it shortened and ended her season. There was no wrong time for her to mention the shit because yes, like you said, and it's what I said when you had to refresh. Like, it happened to her. The fire was lit, in your words, as you said, the fire was lit under her. Why is she gonna then hold that and then be like, yeah, you know what? Never mind, it's the off season, it's a new season, forget
that,
it. Maybe they'll fix it. Nah, call
that's
it
how
out
I
while
feel.
the thing is still going, because then you can have the referees step up and do better in game, in while shit's in motion.
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
Well,
They
then you're
already
adding to the
said.
negativity then.
No,
Well,
I'm saying
well, well, well,
that's not something that's going to happen right away. That's
well,
not something that she's going to say, and then tomorrow the referee's going to do that. Come on, man. That's not how that works.
well.
No,
If
but
they,
it
if they
brings
hear the
eyes on the
referees are
refs.
getting criticized about
Yes.
the egregious
It brings
call during the game, now you're not the casual fan, you're the real fan, and you're saying, shit, you know, I'm paying more attention to the refs now because this is a thing.
the real fans been new, TJ. The real fans been new. All she talking to is the casual fans and the haters. That's all she's talking to. Is the casual fans and the haters. The real fans, the people who on their timeline saying they gotta handle this, are the real fans.
And I could dig it.
We
I
already
could
know.
I can dig your point. I can dig your point. But like we normally say, right? Like why are we paying attention to the casuals and the haters, right? Just like with Bad Bunny. Why are we paying attention to any of you motherfuckers? And actually, I'm paying attention to all the tears because it's absolutely hilarious. I just seen Bad Bunny's fucking monologue from Saturday Night Live. I guess it was last night, and he said some shit in Spanish pretty much, and then ended it was just like, yo, if you don't understand what I'm saying, you got 4 months to go learn. Motherfucker, if you don't like it, fix yourself. And I'm loving TJ. I'm loving every minute of the Bad Bunny tears, especially living in the house of Puerto Ricans. Like, and all my Puerto Rican friends is just like everybody's fucking lighting up all over the place, loving that the fact that they're getting Bad Bunny on the Super Bowl stage. Now we already know it's only for about 15 minutes or so, but we seen what Kendrick did in about 15, 20 minutes. And what Bad Bunny's been doing in his tour, like they watched the tour in the house. My wife watched the tour, the kids watched the tour. They was just like, yo, this shit's phenomenal. Shout out to my wife's best friend, Liz, and her husband. They got hooked up and they had to like on some 24-hour shit book a flight because they was able to get fucking floor seats to the Bad Bunny concert in Puerto Rico. That dude got picked because he moves numbers. Fuck you people who are hating because you might not understand Spanish.
I'm
Fuck
hating.
all you, fuck all you people who are trying to talk like he ain't American. I'm sorry. Puerto Rico, though it's not a state, Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. They're
Listen,
fucking American.
like I put in a post earlier this week, every halftime show since the beginning of halftime shows, of all halftime NFL Super Bowl halftime shows, has been done in English. Why are you upset? What are you getting upset about? This has been the norm. We can't step outside of the box for 15 minutes. This is
For,
egregious. This is some
for
wild
good music
outtake.
and for good music too.
Listen,
Uh,
we all know the reason why these people are hating on it. All right. That's 1000%. We all know why he's hating on it. We all listen, cognitive dissonance is a disease, okay? When you place with the facts in front of you and you still want to believe what you want to believe. That's on you. That's a you problem. Nobody gives a fuck about your problems because we all got our own problems, right? So like everybody else says, you cannot watch the Super Bowl. You can get up and do 9 million things during the halftime show, or you can just boycott it all. But now you're not going to watch the NFL? Nah, let me tell you something right now. Everybody was watching the game this week. Everybody was watching the game this week. That protest is bullshit. It's bullshit. Pure bullshit. It's a machine that continues to make billions of dollars, and it's going to continue to make billions of dollars until some egregious scandal comes out, whether it's cheating, something involving kids, wild shit like that. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. We can't get enough of it.
And
NFL
Tyrone,
is all year round.
what?
and Tyrone, I said it's the casuals that are trying to make
I
the
hate
most
it.
noise.
I'm not casual and I hate it. I don't want Bad Bunny doing the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm one of the people who like to watch the halftime show. I'm not one of those people who, when the Super Bowl halftime show, I turn to the Simpsons thing or whatever like that. I like watching the Super Bowl halftime show. I've always liked watching it. And now I was disappointed last year with Kendrick. I hated that. I hated it with a passion. I did not enjoy it at all. I found it to be very boring, and I felt like picking Kendrick messed up my Super Bowl halftime show. And now I got to deal with Bad Bunny. I don't like that. I don't want my Super Bowl halftime show to be in Spanish at all. I can sound bad all I want, but I don't. I want to understand the words. I want to hear music that I like. I want to see people perform that I like. So
But it's not about you. It's not
It's about
about
me.
you.
It's about
It's not
me.
about you.
It's all about me. I'm mad that they picked Bad Bunny because I don't like Bad Bunny. I don't like his music. I don't want to hear nothing in Spanish because I don't speak Spanish, so I don't want to hear nothing in Spanish. I'm sorry, I don't. So no, I'm
Listen,
not happy that they picked Bad Bunny. But it's not a race thing. It's not what everybody else is saying. I wasn't happy when they picked Kendrick last year neither. And I wasn't happy with his performance. And now this year too, I don't think that I'm going to enjoy the Super Bowl halftime for a second year in a row. And I'm pissed off about it.
I get up
it's a
and walk away from
halftime
the
show.
halftime. I walk away from halftime shows all the time because I don't care who's on the bill. I ain't watching that shit.
I do,
I ain't watching that shit.
but I do, and I want
Curtis
to watch it, and I want to enjoy it, and I'm not going to enjoy Bad Bunny. Sorry,
Curtis
I'm
said
not.
Curtis said, they have been teaching Spanish in U.S. schools for decades now. We should be able to enjoy a little of the music and pick up on some of the words. I mean, yeah, I agree to a point,
Right.
but like his music ain't for everybody. But I don't listen to Bad Bunny, but he's not trash, and
Listen,
he puts on a hell of a performance.
there's never going to be a halftime show for everybody. It's not
Never.
going to happen.
Why do I have to listen? Why can't Bad Bunny perform in English?
You don't have to listen to it.
But I want to watch the halftime show. So now I can't watch the halftime show because this guy is performing in Spanish, and I don't want to hear Spanish music. So now I can't watch the Super Bowl halftime show.
That's like
I don't like that.
that's like if Elvis Presley was alive and Elvis Presley was doing the halftime show. I'm not watching that shit.
I would.
I
I
want
like
to
his
win
music.
that race. I ain't watching it. I ain't watching that bitch either.
I'm not
I ain't
watching
watching.
it, bro.
Yo, we gotta think. The halftime shows evolved for decades. The first ones was fucking like marching band bullshits. Come
Man,
on, like, come
y'all
on.
can't
And I'm
have
sorry. There's a contingency of Hispanic and Latin Americans or non-Americans that are in the league also. Why
I
don't they
care
deserve
about
a point to
me.
get represented?
I care about me. I ain't worried about them. I'm not in no group protest. I'm saying for me, I don't want to see Bad Bunny on the halftime show. I don't want to try to hear Spanish music. I don't want to have to try to decipher nothing. I want to hear music that I want to hear. I want to see a performance that I want to see. So yeah, I'm disappointed that they picked Bad Bunny. Not for all those other reasons, not for no political shit, not for no race bullshit, and none of that. Just me personally, I'm mad because I didn't get a good halftime performance for myself for last year with Kendrick and that bullshit, and now I gotta fucking miss the halftime again because now they got Bad Bunny.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about us having remote controls. Or
Yeah.
you can resurrect the classic remote control and you be like, your mom's calling you from the other room and you get up and go change the channel. You could do that too.
Or
I'm not
or
saying I can't change the
you
channel.
can
I'm
put
saying
on
I
your
don't
own
want to.
halftime show in your own crib.
That's
You can
it.
make it about you. If that's what you want to hear, you can play all the music you want to hear for 15 minutes, dogs.
I don't want to have.
You could put cardboard down, you could break dance, you could get up fucking Dutty wine with your lady. You can do all of that
I
shit.
know what I
You can do
can do.
daggering. You can do double. You can do like the pasas and jump off your TV stand on your lady and do all of that shit that you want to do during the
I
halftime show.
I
Then
know what
turn the
I
game
can
back
do.
on.
But that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is watch the halftime show and enjoy it. That's what I
We all
want to
can't get
do.
what we want. We all can't get what we want, dogs.
I know.
TJ,
I know.
I don't think he's been in the proper Puerto Rican environments to understand
No,
what
no, he
what
doesn't
Bad Bunny
understand.
I
But I
lived
mean,
with a
to
Puerto Rican.
understand what Bad Bunny would do.
I lived with a Puerto Rican woman for 2 years. Okay, I lived
listen,
with a Puerto Rican woman for two
listen,
years. I know what it is.
listen,
I don't like it
listen,
though.
listen. I watched that Amazon Bad Bunny concert live, right? There's gonna be a lot of babies being made after that show, bro.
Tyrone don't want no more kids. Chill,
9 months from now, there's gonna be a lot of Bad Bunny babies. Okay.
This is gonna be the least. No, it's not. This is gonna be the least watched halftime show in the history of the Super Bowl.
yeah. All right. You have fun with that thought right there.
That's the truth.
You
You
talking
watch.
about the guy who the most spins in the world, the most fucking sales in the world. Like he's
He's a
the
superstar.
the world's
Not
biggest
on that.
artist right now, and you
We
think
ain't
he's
talking
gonna
about the
have
world. We talking about America, United States.
what
That's
they
it.
show the game globally now, bro.
We ain't talking about the world. I'm talking about the United States.
Well,
Yeah,
we can
Puerto
talk.
Rico's a part of the United States, brother.
There you go. And we
America's
can talk.
not going to
He's
watch
talk.
that.
He's talking about the one house in West Philly. He's talking
No,
about himself.
you watch.
He's
America's
talking
not going to
about
watch this.
himself. He talking about himself and the white MAGAs who are mad that they're not getting fucking. I killed my dog and
The white
I
maggots,
tried to hump my sister music,
the white maggots that are mad is a lot of motherfucking people that ain't gonna be watching it.
and
A
that's
whole
okay.
lot.
No, they not.
We don't need
No, they
them in the
not.
mix. They still gonna watch.
They not the halftime
It's-
show. They gonna watch the game.
yeah, they still gonna be run nigga run from their couches. Damn it! How come you couldn't catch that ball? They still gonna
Listen,
be watching.
listen, I've been around enough and seen enough. Even the videos, bro. Listen, ain't nothing like a Puerto Rican baby shower. Okay, ain't nothing like it. You might
They
meet your
luck,
wife there. You might meet your
son.
wife.
Son, TJ, you say that the world is lucky it ain't no Dominican shit.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
They
You know what
are
I'm saying?
lucky it ain't Dominican. No Kalo K's over here.
Yeah,
You getting Bad Bunny. You getting a safe Puerto Rican.
yeah.
Curtis said, Lisper, you have to watch the show. You may not understand it, but I bet you like at least one of his songs.
I mean, you can. I mean, the beats. This dude got beats. Like he's got catchy
Uh,
songs, bro.
Yo, don't try it. Hey Curtis, don't try that because I like Kendrick songs too, and I didn't like his halftime show. It don't got nothing to do with liking songs. I can like a song, but I'm
All
just
right.
saying I just not
So if
feeling it.
he so if he brings a wrestling ring and Damian Priest to the halftime show,
Damian Priest.
I'm just saying that was his tag team partner for one of
No,
his first
no.
appearances.
Oh, he
I
watched
He
think
that
brings
shit.
Selena
He
I
Vega.
watched
think
it in a minute.
you might like that.
If he brings Selena Vega, I like it.
Trust and believe. Bad Bunny brings way higher quality than Zelina Vega.
Damn, damn. You hating on Selena?
No, shout out. That's another New Yorker. Shouts out to Zelina Vega. But no, I'm just saying, yo. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. See, I'm not in your camp with it because I ain't mad. I already don't watch halftime shows because I just don't care. I might watch this one if I'm home now.
Oh, now you
Maybe.
gonna watch this one
Well,
just to prove
no,
the point.
no.
You trying to get them
I ain't gonna
numbers up.
no.
I see you.
Tyrone, no. Remember, my wife is Puerto Rican.
Mm-hmm.
Big Bad Bunny fan.
She
I ain't
watching
gonna
that shit.
ain't gonna have there is going to be no say in the matter for me. I will not have the ability to turn it off. In fact, the TV is going to probably be at the highest volume it can fucking go.
Listen, if Dan jumps in and pulls the plug on that shit, he might be divorced on Monday.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'll be outside the house with the bags, like just like that meme. And I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I'm talking about. With the dude with the vest on. You
But it is going to get to a point where they're going to have to start like it is hard because you don't want to recycle an artist, but they are kind of running out of people to do this thing. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it is going to be disappointing for a while. I don't know who's the big name that can do it next year. You know what I mean? They are running out of people to like actually do this.
not really, but
Yeah,
I get what
really.
you're saying. I get it because I get what you're saying because Jay is kind of went to like the top of the top of who's the hot. But you got to think about it like this though. Kendrick's momentum last year was unstoppable. Whenever Bad Bunny pops out, his momentum is unstoppable. And this one too, like the Amazon joint was just the joint that started his tour. Like he did the Puerto Rico residency. That big show that he last did was the end of the residency. Now he's on this global tour to where I think the Super Bowl is going to be the end. where Kendrick, that was the kickoff to his global tour. There's going to be somebody the following season that's going to be up there again. And then there's always legacy acts too. But here's the thing. I think personally, and this is just my personal opinion, the timing that we're in within this country, which we can transition to some of that next, but the timing that we're in within this country now, and most of the top country artists have some of the more problematic political takes that align with a lot of the bullshit that's going on right now. So it's only the safe thing for Jay and the NFL to do to stay away from him. Not like the rest of these companies who are embracing this shit because they don't want to piss off the dear leader, as they love to call him.
Listen,
You keep them away.
If Bad Bunny says I'll sponsor your company, that company's profit margin goes up exponentially. Exponentially off the rip. Off the rip.
But I think personally right now it's smart to stay away from. And I'm sure, actually, I forgot. No, shout out to the homie light skinned Gaijin, homie Denard. He made a post about this shit. And I said, yo, I want Jay-Z to bring somebody country on eventually. But
He'll do it.
all black country artists. Just to remind these motherfuckers of where this shit started.
Nah, they ain't trying to hear that.
They ain't gonna hear it. They're not
Shabuzi
going.
next year, baby. Shabuzi
Right?
next year.
Shabuzi and his wife, but he can't play the nepotism card. That shit would be fucking amazing. You think that they sick because they're gonna have to hear music in Spanish? You got some niggas on that stage doing country music? Oh no. They'd lose their fucking mind. They would lose their fucking mind. But it would be one of the best things ever because it would just be that little, here you go. Let me remind you who gave you this music.
I'm thinking about Miley. I think Miley Cyrus might get a shot at it.
Yo, I just had to turn off the Yankee game. They're getting smoked, bro.
You reaching back for a wrecking ball, huh?
No,
Yeah.
Miley just got an she just put out an album like a couple months ago.
She ain't hot though.
Miley's hot, bro.
She ain't Taylor Swift hot.
She's not Taylor Swift, but nobody's Taylor Swift. I mean, like, who's Taylor Swift hot right now?
Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny.
Right? Exactly.
You fell into that one, brother. You fell into that one.
Way. That Bunny is not Taylor Swift hot. No.
Tyrone wants this out there. He wants some of this.
What?
I said Tyrone wants this.
Oh. No, man, I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
I'm just you are just saying, man. What are we saying next though? Trust and believe, brother. It will be entertaining.
I'll give it a shot.
It might not be your Drake, it might not be your Cardi B, but it'll be entertaining.
Oh, he should bring Cardi B out.
That would be fire.
Cardi B probably gonna be out there. Now that you said that.
That would be fire.
You watch.
You see how he lit up. You see how he lit up, though.
We can bring it Oh, man.
Damn. I forgot about Cardi.
Yeah. You too much, man. You too much, bro.
I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
I thought you was going to do the RZA. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But what we got next? What we got?
I'm still shocked that Rihanna named her son RZA. That was crazy. But
that was A$AP Rocky that did that.
I know it's still like the woman is the final say though, TJ. She had to agree to that shit.
Well, she is the breadwinner in that family. But yes,
Nah, I was gonna say you're not wrong because I wanted to name my oldest daughter Asia, but she was like, oh no. Then I was like Vanessa. I always like the name Vanessa. She was like, no, But then we came up with the Z name Zaria, and it works. So,
there you go. There you go.
mm,
Oh, can we
the
talk
woman
about?
is the final say.
I know what we could talk about next. This meeting of like 800 military generals that Pete
hold,
has said.
hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody mute your mics real quick. Everybody mute your mics. That was the response to
I knew what
FA,
you was doing. I knew what
FO. That was the response to FA,
Yo,
FO.
yo,
He thought he ate with that shit.
these dudes sat there stone face, bro. Stone face. It was amazing. Like Trump was going on and nobody. He was giving his rah-rah speech and nobody. There was no rah. There was no there was nothing. These motherfuckers like, I don't believe you called me away for this. This could have been done over a Zoom meeting. Really? Really? You
Right?
called me from
You
West
could have
Bumblefuck of, you called me from East Bumblefuck of the world to sit here and listen to some PT training and no beards and shit? No
he could
beards?
have
That's what you called me for?
texted. He could have texted on a signal chat. But Tyrone, though, the lone military man here today, like your feelings behind this fucking this stage bullshit that Pete Hegseth did.
Who care? I don't understand. Who cares, bro? Who cares? Nobody cares because it's not important. Like, I don't understand where the military is like car insurance, bro. It's just a bunch of people just in case some shit pop off. Most of the people don't do a lot of work there. It's not that. I don't know what they want you to think that it's so important and that it's so prestigious and that it's all of this and all of that, and it's not. And they just keep pushing the narrative that the military is something to acquire
Bigger than what it is.
Huh?
Bigger than what it is.
Yes, they make it way bigger than what it is. So when I see military stuff and military narratives and stuff, and for the people who've been in it, we know the truth. And yeah, I know it's propaganda. We're not supposed to say it. They defend our country and all that. And they're all heroes. Everybody, I'm not no hero, bro. I'll tell you right now. So when Veterans Day come up and people say thank you for your service and you're a hero and all that, I'm like, nah, bro. I was somebody who was like on the way to prison and the military was a way out. That's
Right. You say thank you for this free stack of pancakes.
Yeah, like,
Right?
you know
Thank you for the free lunch at your restaurant.
And I saw this, and it just brought me back to over the weekend. I saw the comedian Gary Owen, and he was talking to this girl in the audience, and she was like, "Yeah, I was in the military." And he asked her what she did, and she said she was in charge of sanitation, so she made sure that they had bathrooms, showers, and stuff. And he was just like, "That ain't shit. You ain't never got shot at. Nobody never shot at you. You ain't go to war. You ain't do nothing. All you did was make sure somebody had toilet paper. Make sure the shower ran." Then he said, "You spent your whole military career going, okay, water's coming out. I'm good." You know what I mean? But in reality, 90% of the military spends their time doing like regular bullshit for real. So it's like, all this military shit is basically, to me, it's like propaganda, and it's just like, it's just something to push out there to have an excuse for spending our money.
They're trying to push a narrative. They're definitely trying to push a narrative here. And
the Department of War.
Right. And all of his talk was about being the best male fit and shape. He didn't say nothing about women, nothing about anything else. He's like, oh, it's okay for drill instructors to be a little rough with the recruits and stuff like that. But like, you're just trying to push this like one narrative of like what you think a soldier should be, and not everybody's like that. Not everybody who goes to the military is a Navy SEAL. Not everybody's an Army Ranger. Not everybody's a fucking Green Beret with special forces.
TJ, he wasn't none of that.
He was a lieutenant in whatever service he was.
Dude, you know what a lieutenant means? Lieutenant means you went to officer school. That's all the fuck it means. You went to officer school. Anybody can be a lieutenant if you go to officer school. See what I'm saying? You'll be an NCO. That's like a sergeant, staff sergeant, all that. If you want to be a lieutenant, all you got to do is go to officer school. You pass officer school, you're going to be a lieutenant. It don't mean that you're great at the physical training. It don't mean that you're great at shooting. Yeah, officer school has a higher standard. Yeah, okay, you got to meet that standard to get through it. But you ain't got to do nothing spectacular on the field. You ain't got to be out no wartime shit. You ain't got to outperform a whole bunch of people. All you got to do is pass. These get degrees. If you get the lowest score, that's a pass. If you get a 70 on all your tests and a 70 on all your PT skills and the minimum on all your shooting and all that, and you pass, you're going to be a lieutenant. And you can spank.
Right.
So that don't mean shit. And like I said, too, they got, okay, so what they do is, right, they're bringing a fat dude, right? You know, you got a fat guy in basic training, right? He's a fat guy. And he's got only basic training is 9 weeks. So this fat dude got 9 weeks to get in shape, just enough to pass his physical training test. So in that 9 weeks, all they got to do is get this dude to pass his physical training test, and then after that, he can go back to fat all he wants.
It's just like being a cop or being in the fire department. Like you slim down, you make weight and all that to pass all the running tests and all the climbing tests and things like that. And then what do you end up seeing? You see fat cops. You see fat firefighters driving the trucks, shit like, and that's no disrespect, but just correlate to what you're saying.
He was saying that, and he was like, this goes out for generals too. And I'm like, how are you saying this when the commander-in-chief, right? The commander-in-chief is sitting back smashing Mickey D's on the regular.
Dude.
With cankles.
Listen, how long, if you are a person that's in kind of decent shape, where it's like you're not a fast flyer, like you're not lazy or whatever, right? You got to understand, the military takes the physical training test for a lot of these guys only one time a year. And they tell you what date it is. So let's say you got your physical training test and it's in April, right? You can do whatever the fuck you want till March. Maybe till, if you're in decent shape, you don't have to do nothing. You can wait till April. So I'm saying if you're in bad shape, you can wait till February, March, take a couple of weeks and go to the gym and train up just enough to pass your PT test, and then you ain't got to take that shit for another year later. So you got 6 to 8 months throughout the year that you could be a fat fuck, eat McDonald's, do whatever you want to do. It's not like it's a standard where they keep conditioning you every day. It's not like that. It's like you just got to pass your physical training test once a year. That's it.
Yeah, nobody's running 4 miles every day.
So that goes to what Curtis is saying. He said that's not true. All branches have semi-annual PT tests, and they have performed to serve program now, where if you don't pass PT a certain amount of times, they'll discharge you.
Yeah.
How many people are failing that though?
What's semi-annual mean?
Every 6 months.
That's once a year. And if you fail your PT test 3 times, they kick you out. But I'm just saying, like, you know that it's coming up. So if you know your PT test is coming up and you want to stay in the Army and you know when it is, you get yourself together for that 2 or 3 months. It don't take long to get yourself in enough shape to pass.
You got 3 chances in the bag to know that if you don't pass it the first time, you got 2 more chances to pass it. So you got time.
And TJ, and you know what I used to do? I used to wait till the last month, and I would work out, do my little bullshit, and I would go to the PT test, right? And you only got to get the minimum. It's a minimum requirement to pass, right? I failed that motherfucker, and then I go, okay, I needed to do 45 push-ups, and I only did 38. So next time, I only got to get myself in shape enough to do a couple of more push-ups And you failed, whatever you failed, you just go, damn, I was 5 sit-ups short, or whatever the case may be. And you
Right.
just go, okay, when they give me the next time, I'm gonna be ready. Or if you was egregiously bad, you ain't passing it, man. You just chalk that shit up and get the fuck out. Because now you don't care at all. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna
Right.
be that bad to the point that you're gonna be that you're not gonna be close to passing.
Right.
And then it goes up with age. The older you get, the more that shit goes down.
Right. As
So,
it should.
so it's not hard. It's not hard for somebody who's in decent shape. You got to be like a real fat slob or somebody who really don't care about your personal health and hygiene to fail a PT test. You really do. The standards are not
And
high
listen,
on those tests, bro.
listen. I'm sure if you cool or you got some insider shit, somebody might pass you on the lows. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways around the shit. There's always ways around this shit.
Plus, they don't understand this too. If you're actually a person who's making a career out of the military, you're going to keep yourself in reasonable shape. You're not going to say I'm making a career out of the military, but I'm going to be fat as hell. Like, no, you're going to keep yourself in reasonable shape because you don't want to go to war. I mean, not to say that you will, but you don't want to get sent to Afghanistan and you fat as hell. Got to walk through them jungles and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Not in that heat. Not in that heat, brother.
No, thank you. No, thank you. But the whole circus, though, like it's just like, yo, this whole administration has been a comedy show. It's been one big comedy act, in my opinion, but also one big like tragedy fucking story because yo, this shit that they pulled off in Chicago recently is absolutely just sickening. Like they
Yeah.
went and fucking damn near like bombed the building. Like they fucking broke down doors, allegedly ripped out over 900 people, allegedly. All for what? All
Had
for
kids in zip
probably
ties.
all for a piece of property that fucking white folks probably don't even want to own. It's getting this whole administration, man, it's getting disgusting. And yeah, to those who didn't believe the Project 2025 stuff that everybody's giving Kamala Harris the credit, but like the Star 5 podcast has been dropping that shit on y'all since we even heard about it and knew about it. People been telling y'all motherfuckers. Yet ignorance and racism, in my opinion, whether you claim you're racist or not, ignorance led you to put this guy back in position to fuck us over.
And it's not like they're
So
doing anything for veterans either.
at all. At all. Like Curtis said earlier, and I'll bring it back up. The Veterans Affairs Office ain't shit.
They ain't doing shit for the veterans. You did your service, you did your time, you're a veteran. What happened to all that hero shit that like Tyrone was saying? You were a hero, right? Thank you for your service. Where's my give back for putting my time in? 4 years, 8 years, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Where's the recognition at?
And you know what the real problem is? It's the hoops and the red tape. It's the hoops and the red tape. Here it is. I signed up for the military. I did my military time. Y'all got all records. Y'all give me a DD-214 when I get out of all my records of everything that I did in the military, everything that I accomplished. But when it comes time for me to get some medical shit, when it comes time for me to get some housing money, when it comes time for me to get anything that I'm entitled to as a veteran, I got to go through hoops. I got to go through red tape. I got to go through people calling me and go through the phone. And the red tape is what happens to these veteran guys that go, hey, I'm sick, I need to go to the hospital, and they got to go through the red tape, and then they get an appointment 7-8 months down the line, and it's like, fuck it. A lot of these guys just give up. A lot of these guys go, hey, I need to see a doctor right away, and they tell them, oh, we're booked for 8 months, and they're like, well, fuck, I can't wait 8 months. So now they go somewhere else. And it's just like, it's just so much red tape, and I'm just like, for people who serve the country and for y'all to keep so much good records, the military got records of everything you do. If you fart in your barracks, they know you farted in there, right? So these guys that are so efficient with all these records, how come when you go to get something, oh, we don't got your record of your address. We need this, we need that. Y'all need all this fucking information. Y'all don't got, but yet y'all the military who keeps tabs on the whole nation. And what are we talking about here? So it's just the way they make military people jump through hoops to get shit that they signed up for that's in a contract that they're entitled to is fucking insane.
And
That's
all I ever hear, man, is like the VA is terrible. I always hear the VA is terrible from a lot of people, man, and it's sad because, like you said, man, like allegedly, allegedly, it's thank you for your service, thank you for this, thank you for that. Oh, you're this, like you just said. But then again, when you come home, thank you. When you come home, you're treated like shit. You don't get shit. You know what I'm saying? I like to correlate it to these same red hat wearing right wingers, alleged Christians, right? Who claim, oh, abortion is bad, abortion is this, blah, 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 abortion, 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 right? Don't have abortions. We need more kids. But then as soon as you're born in the world, you're treated just like everybody else. They treat you like fuck your life if you're not on my side of thinking. And it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up.
It is bad. It is egregious. It's bad. It's a stain on, like, maybe you were somebody who wanted to join the military, but let's say your family member was in the military. And like you said, Tyrone, they trying to get treatment. They're trying to get housing, anything. A lot of these guys deal with a lot of PTSD. They've never been in combat before. And maybe you're in combat, you've seen some shit that fucked your head up. Now, like you said, you got to jump through red tape for that. Why do I have to jump through red tape for that? I was there. You got my records to know that I was there. What are you talking about? You need to verify my address. You know where I live. If I did something wrong, you can find me in 5 fucking minutes. But now I got to verify my address to get benefits?
When they got to bring flowers to the door, they know exactly where to go.
Dude, it's just insane, bro.
It's not right.
And then,
it's not right at all.
And the other thing is too. The other thing is that they act like, and this is the other thing too. When you go in and you talk to a military recruiter, you sit down and sometimes they want you recruited. Or when I had to do hometown recruiting, it's not like the things that they say about the military, like, hey, you serve your country, you're going to make your people proud, you're going to do all this and all that. That's not the speech that you get. That's not the shit. They don't talk about none of that shit. They don't talk about serving the country. They don't talk about making your family proud. They don't talk about a career you can be proud of. They don't talk about United States and the president and all the bullshit that they want to make it seem like the military is. What they talk about is, hey, we can give you a $20,000 signing bonus. We can give you money for college. You can use the GI Bill to go to school. You can use this to get a house. You can use this to get more money from this. You'll get lower interest rates on your loans, and you'll have medical with the VA for the rest of your life. You'll have medical insurance and all that. They promise you like bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a serving your country. So they give you incentives to join the military. That's not about what it's supposed to be about. So a lot of these people that go to the military go, oh, I can get in, and then they tell you in 4 years you can get $20,000 signing bonus over 4 years. So people thinking, okay, that's $5,000 a year extra. I can get that. Okay, I can go to school, college for free. Okay, they're gonna help me get a house at a lower interest rate. These are the things that bring people into the military.
This nigga said, I didn't get a signing bonus. My recruiter brought me a damn 40-ounce of Old E. All right. So on some other side of the coin stuff though, like because I'm thinking about shout outs to That's Absurd podcast. And there was a guy that used to be on the show all the time, Dude Gray. And he was always away going to school, doing some shit, taking advantage of his GI Bill. And isn't a lot of the health insurance part is something totally different. But like the GI Bill stuff and things like that, like how much of that is on the person's initiative to step up and go get that shit?
No, it's not. You automatically, they give it to you automatically. Now it's on your initiative to actually use it because it's not cash you can go use. You have to like go
Right.
to a qualified school and turn that in. So if the GI Bill don't mean nothing to nobody who ain't trying to do nothing with their life. Yeah,
Okay.
it's worth it if you're trying to go to school and you're trying to be better and you're trying to further your education. But if you somebody who just got kicked out or somebody who didn't have aspirations for life, the GI Bill ain't helping you because you're not going to college. You know what I mean?
So you kind of have to want it
Yeah,
after career and
right.
just
But
go get it.
also this, no veteran should be homeless. That should be first and foremost.
That part.
There should be no veteran homeless. They should have veteran like little cities. You know what I'm saying? In every state for where you live at for veterans to provide housing for them. That should be on the government's tab because you worked on the government's tab. You put your life on the government's tab. Now the government should put their life on the tab for you in terms of saying thank you. That's really saying thank you for your service. That's really all these abandoned shopping malls and shit like that. They should be VA spots. They're not doing that. They're not doing that.
They don't care about your service, bro. I told you, the military is like car insurance, bro. We just want as many people as we can so we can get as much tax dollars as we can, and we're gonna get all these tax dollars, but we're not gonna take care of these dudes like we're supposed to. Like in the United States, it looks nice when you go on these military things, but if you go overseas, like when I was in Honduras, bro, we were staying in like huts, bro. It wasn't nice. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't nice. Like the Air Force base was nice. The Army base was not nice, bro. Like it was kind of like a little fucked up. Like we had community showers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good environment. And like I said, it's like car insurance. It's like we want as many people as we can have in this military for just in case some shit pops off.
So like Curtis says here, they do have programs that assist vets with homelessness, but they are hard to seek out. I think
they
that
make it
ties
hard
to your
to
I think that ties to your red tape conversation.
Right. Ties to my red tape conversation where you go there and you say, hey, I'm homeless, I'm fucked up. And they want you got to fill out this paperwork. You got to go see this person. You got to talk to this person. Oh, you need this ID. Oh, where's your military ID? Oh, you need all. And people just get sick of the red tape. People just get sick of going through months and months and months of phone calls, months and months and months of interviews, months and months and months of paperwork just to be told, oh, you still might not get the shit.
All to end up on like a lottery type of system, right?
Yeah, right. Man.
That's crazy. Where yeah, I'm sorry, like it should be automatic. It should be like this is one of them things to why like I'm glad we having this conversation because I I don't I'm not a fan of the military. I salute all of y'all who went in and stuff. Y'all are better humans in that aspect than me because I personally have always been the guy who said I don't want to put myself in a and that's the extreme. I never wanted to put myself in a war situation for a country that I already knew didn't give a fuck about me, straight up and down. And then to have military friends who, for the most part, most of all my, if not all my friends, have been on the better side of, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't come out the military fucked up in the game. You know what I'm saying? But to know what this country does to these veterans that again they browbeat us to fucking death on TV from all these right-wing fucking either influencers or politicians. Love the military. We gotta respect these guys. We gotta respect law enforcement. We gotta respect this, that, yada, 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 yada. Like you said, all the rhetoric, all the bullshit. And all they do is they treated us like a child who wasn't aborted.
listen. Don't you think recruitment would be through the roof if they actually followed through with the housing,
Right.
with the benefits of medical, with with everything that they say they can provide for you? Don't you think recruiting be because I want that? Who don't want that? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
That's a way out. I'm coming from a piss poor. I don't got a pot to throw nothing in, and I'm getting all
Right.
these benefits and coming out. And look at me. I got housing. I got a good job. I got benefits for life. I can go to any hospital I want to, and show my VA card, and they're gonna take care of me. Recruitment would
Yeah.
be through the fucking everybody be signing up
Make
for that
it
shit.
make it look a little more incentivized
But
by actually providing the care that you offer and not the potential of owning a Hellcat when you
eh,
leave because you couldn't spend your money when you was
yeah,
overseas. So you held on to all that money, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Make it more enticing than, oh, I could get a PlayStation 5 on discount at the general store or
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
because you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo, don't knock that, bro. Don't knock that. When I was in Georgia, man, I spent a
oh,
lot
I
of
ain't
money.
hating.
Yeah, that was my shit, bro. I had TVs, PlayStations. I was sending that. You
Yo,
want a PlayStation? I got you,
I
dog.
ain't hating.
But the other thing too is, like I said, they give you a DD-214, which literally lists all your military service, right? So like TJ said, you should be able to go in there and go, hey, I'm a veteran, I'm homeless, I need a place to stay, and give them that paperwork. And they can read everything that you've done in the military on that one sheet. And they can go, oh yeah, that's you. Boom, bam, here you go. You know what I mean? It's like they know everything that you've done, but yet you got to get on the phone and call people and say, yeah, I was in there. Did you serve during wartime? Yeah, look at you got the DD-214 right there. You didn't read it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
It's,
right there.
that's like when you go to a job interview, right? And you emailed your resume, and they ask you the same questions that you already
Yeah.
have on your resume, and you're like, yo, didn't you read my resume? My resume is right here. It shows you what I've done, my accomplishments, where I did, where I went, and who I worked for. Why are
right.
you
It
asking me
should
these
be
dumbass questions?
right. It should be. Give me a little bit more detail about this. So, what was
Yeah.
your experience like in that? Well, not like it's man. Listen, I'm
And then
sorry
these
for
guys,
anybody that got to go through this shit.
they go there, get their DD-214. They got to go down to the downtown, fill out paperwork and all that. Because a lot of these guys don't still have copies of that shit. Like, if you ask me for mine right now, I know it's somewhere. I got it. I didn't throw it out, but I got to fucking find it. I got to look for it. And if these guys are homeless, they don't have it in there. They got to go down, prove they is, apply for it. They got to wait months to get this paperwork back, to turn it in just to have a bitch not read it.
That's
Crazy.
valid. Valid. But I gotta say, because we're gonna close on this topic. Like, I think the courts read Diddy, and we all know that his sentence got read this week. 4 years or 50 months of jail time. Now, I know people
Can
are
he
waiting
appeal
this.
that?
I don't know. I think that he might be trying to. It could also be maybe. Uh, we don't know if it's going to be like time served because he's been locked up during this whole court case or whatever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So we got to see what the outcome is of this,
Wait,
man. But he got sentenced finally. What's y'all thoughts on it?
I mean, he got off light, if you ask me.
got off light?
I mean, for what they accused him of.
Here's the thing. So with time served and with good behavior and with all of the other bullshit they're going to spend, he already spent a year in there. So with time served, so
2
then he'll
years.
be out in less than 2 years probably. Clean out in less than 2 years, right? But I'm not disgusted by the sentence, okay? The max he could have got was 20. We know he wasn't going to get that. And then the judge even said out his own mouth, he was like, for what we convicted him of, I don't think this is a crime that a man should do over 10 years for. He literally got convicted of flying a prostitute in, like bringing somebody in for the purpose of prostitution. Yes, it's a bad crime. Yeah, it garners a 10-year sentence, but the judge was basically like, this ain't something you give a man 10 years for. I'm sorry, it's just not. And I feel the same way.
Nobody's getting 10 years for pimping.
That's what I'm saying, right? So now we're looking at Diddy and we're going, okay, he's not getting 10 years for it. So I think that 4 or 5 years is reasonable than giving him the probation and letting him out. But my disgust is, once again, everybody's talking about the judge and how he got a little bit of time and they discussed about that. Y'all looking at everything that he done. This sentencing ain't got nothing to do with the shit that he done. This sentencing was basically the only thing that they really could catch this man on they sentenced him for. Okay, he ain't getting sentenced for none of the assaults, none of the abuse, none of the racketeering, none of the crimes that this man really committed is what he getting sentenced for, and that's why I'm disgusted with the DA. I said it on our podcast before. They're charging Diddy with the wrong shit so that they don't have to put this man in jail for a long time, and that's what happened, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if this administration, and I'm not calling this judge a part of the administration, but like within this country and this administration, the PDF file administration, if they could walk for what they've been doing, I mean, like I said, I've had
Well,
no weight on the whole Diddy thing in general. You know what I'm saying? He
here-
got what he got. He served some time already for it. He's a black man in America. They're gonna make sure they're gonna get him for something. They're gonna make sure they're gonna get him for something. But meanwhile, the PDF file administration is working their hardest to make things easier for them and get away
here-
with shit. Whatever.
Here's the other thing, and I always get backlash for saying this, and I always get in trouble for saying this, and everybody always goes that I'm victim blaming. But I'm just saying that if we wanted real justice, you can't hit a billionaire in his pockets for justice. So all of these victims that were suing him and filing civil lawsuits for money instead of prosecuting him for assault and battery and the things he should have been prosecuted for, it's like, okay, y'all, they're not out for justice. You're not out for justice because taking money from a man who's a billionaire is not justice. That's something he would easily do. That's why Cassie got that 30 million real quick. Real
Listen,
quick. You see what I'm
listen.
saying?
Half the crimes he allegedly committed are beyond the statute of limitations anyway. They bringing up old shit. Like they would have to bring this should have happened 10, 15, maybe even 20 years ago. And it didn't. Nobody spoke up then. It was a different time. It was a different time.
And they brought it up for character
But-
purposes, no?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like this is who he is.
Here's the question I want to ask both of y'all. Y'all the perfect guys to ask. Because Dan, you got daughters. TJ, you got a daughter. I got all daughters, right? And I found it utterly disgusting to me that his daughters came in that courtroom, sat in that courtroom the whole time throughout all those trials and heard all of these things that he did to these women, all of his experiences with these women. And for these same young women, and I know that's their dad, but for these same young women that come and plead to the judge to have leniency on them and to talk about how he was a good father and how he's their hero. And I'm just like, I love my daughters to death and they love me to death, but my daughter's not doing that. They would have been disgusted with me. They wouldn't have been.
Also, their father is not a billionaire.
I know, but I'm just saying, bro.
And I think you there was one word you said or one sentence that you said that kind of answered the question for me. That's their father. That's their dad. And yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It might be crazy for me to hear say this, but if he ain't never treated them like that, they're only gonna see their dad in the light that they're gonna want to see their dad.
But I'm saying that they were in the court. Like my daughters, that's why I said that Puffy should not allow his daughters to be in that courtroom. Because my daughters I always brought them up and I raised them up to have their own minds, their own opinions, whatever. They gonna hold me accountable for this. So it ain't in no way whatsoever that my daughters would have came in there and fucking tried to paint a good picture of me to that judge. They wouldn't have did that. If they would have called me, they would have been like, Dad, you on your own, brother. You gotta handle this.
It's the same of a mother with their child, and he committed a horrendous crime. You know what I'm saying? That's still my baby. That's still my baby. And I know what he did was bad, but can you please just show some type of leniency?
Yeah, I just find that I just feel like as women, they shouldn't have brought them in there because now like all the other women that know them are kind of like, yo, like.
Yeah, no, I feel
no. You don't think his daughters know at least a little bit of that though? I think they had to know.
Right. And I feel y'all like cause like the leniency doesn't necessarily just mean like the time. Like the leniency could be like the type of prison he gets sent to. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, or you know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like it doesn't mean the time, or I mean, I'm sure for them it did mean the time. It definitely did mean the time, but there could be other things that you could be asking for, like, like, please, just show a little bit of, like, don't put him in with the crazy nigga that eats kids and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
What what I'm saying though is there is no real leniency. Like even if it wasn't Diddy, let's say it was me that got charged with those two crimes, that I would have probably got 7 years. Probably got 7. It ain't like, oh, it ain't like he committed a murder and got 4 years. He committed a crime that the judge said ain't even worth the 10. He said that the maximum sentence for that crime is 10 years. He said that crime ain't even worth a 10-year sentence. So even if the judge believed that, then somebody like me would have only got 7. So for me to get 7, Diddy to get 4, I think that's about right. That's about
yeah.
right.
But like, for you to get 7, TJ, what did you say before a few minutes ago about the kids and all? Daddy ain't a billionaire.
Right.
So yeah, you'd have got tapped out, but
A little
you
bit.
you,
A
you
little
ain't the
bit.
billionaire. You
A
ain't the
little bit.
billionaire.
A little bit.
But yo, we gotta go. I'm
Yeah.
fucking hungry. Food just came. That's when
Yeah.
I went off camera. I had to
Yeah.
bring the food in. But yeah, y'all know what to do, Tyrone.
I'm just saying I don't particularly like these kind of things because I do have to give a disclosure that, I mean, a disclaimer to say, like, military ain't all bad. Like, military sort of it saved my life at the time that I joined it, and I don't regret joining it. But sometimes I do look at that shit and I go, like, yeah, like, people need to know that it ain't what they trying to sell it to us to be. And I don't want young kids going out there and joining the military thinking one thing. Like, somebody does need to let them know the truth. But I'm not salty about it. I'm not angry about it. The military was good and did work out for me for what I wanted to work out for me for. You know what I'm saying? And like I said too, I'm not. And the other thing is, like, I'm not hating on what the WNBA women are doing. I'm just saying that I like when the narrative of the league is very positive, and I was shining a positive light on these playoffs, and then the negativity came in, and I just didn't. I just thought that at the time, while I was still positive, that I wanted to stay positive. But I'm not hating on none of these women. I want them to get all their money. I want them to have a good league. I want everything that was best for them, and I'm not talking down on them in any way whatsoever. Because I get backlash for the kind of stuff I be saying, and people just don't understand that I'm not that dude. I got daughters, and I do. This is coming from a place of love and not hate and stuff like that. So I just wanted to say that, and I'm glad that you guys already understand it, and I don't have to explain it to y'all as men because y'all know me and y'all know my character, but I just like to get them disclaimers out there sometimes because I don't want people to think, that I'm a fucked up person.
Well, we argue it, but it's balanced to a conversation. That's all, TJ.
Yeah, another great week here. Great topics. I like that we can discuss these topics freely, no judgment, and we all respect each other. So again, this is what we're here for. This is why I like doing it every week. And we can say shit to get off our chest. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. So next week it'll be the same thing. It'll be more, more topics like this. And it's good it's good to hear, and it's good to air it out and hear other people's, reactions, responses, and opinions on stuff like this, because you don't know. Everybody doesn't think the same way you do. So it's good to hear different perspectives from everybody. With that being said, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Jamal. Shout out to O. Shout out to Diggable Planets. Shout out to was it Magic? Ill Magic.
Peace to Ill Magic and
Peace to Ill
Ishtar.
Magic. Dubby Hooks Rubs and Spices. Shout out to Curtis today for jumping on. Yeah, it's been dope.
Word, because that venting is fuck working in Manhattan anymore. I don't have to do that no more. Me no longer working in Manhattan might have saved a few lives. And with that being said, we out. We'll see y'all next week. Hopefully. Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.